Hello students, how are you all? Welcome once again to the video lecture part 2 of Unit 1 Solid State of Class 12 Physical Chemistry. So, this is your mentor Shweta Soni, and let us now discuss about the topics we'll be discussing in the chapter is in the video lecture is how to calculate the density of the unit cell, about the different types of defects exhibited by the solids. So let us get started with the very first topic, and that is the calculation of density of the unit cell. If we consider small a to be the edge length of the unit cell and D is the density of the unit cell, let M be the molar mass of the element, we know that mass of unit cell is calculated by the formula number of atoms in a unit cell, which is actually the rank of the unit cell, into the mass of each atom, which is small m. Z is the number of atoms in a unit cell, also known as rank of the unit cell, and small m is the mass of each atom. Now, to calculate the mass of each atom, we know the formula that mass of each atom is equals to capital M by Na, that is the ratio of molar mass to Avogadro number. So, the small m value is capital M by Na, and the rank of the unit cell is designated by Z. So, mass of unit cell is Z into M upon Na, where M upon Na is mass of each atom. Now, we know that volume of the unit cell is regarded to be the cube of the edge length, which is considered to be A centimeter. So, here it is A cube. Density of the unit cell is given by the formula mass of the unit cell divided by the volume of the unit cell. This Z into M by Na is the mass of the unit cell, and A cube is the volume of the unit cell. So remember this is the final formula for calculation of density of the unit cell, and remember the formula Z, that is the rank of the unit cell, into M, that is the molar mass of the element or atomic mass of the element, A cube, volume of the unit cell, where A is the edge length, and Na is the Avogadro number having a fixed value of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 mole inverse, where D is the density in grams per cubic centimeter and A is the edge length in centimeter. Now, how to apply this to numerical problem? Remember that from this topic, for sure you are going to get a 3-mark numerical question in your board examination. So, remember this is a very, very important formula, and let us learn how to apply and use this formula. So, numerical 1. The numerical is element with density. Density is given 11.2 grams per cubic centimeter. Forms FCC lattice with edge length 4 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. This is the value of A given to us. Calculate the atomic mass of the element. Now, to calculate the atomic mass, the formula becomes D into density into volume into Na divided by Z, where Z is the rank, and remember for FCC unit cell, the rank of the unit cell, FCC unit cell, face centered cubic unit cell is 4. So, D value of density 11.2, A cube 4 into 10 to the power minus 8 whole cube into Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by the rank, which is 4 for FCC unit cell. When you solve for this, you get 107.9, approximately 108 grams per mole. Now, let us see numerical number 2. An element with molar mass 27 grams per mole has a cubic unit cell with edge length 4.05 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter and density 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the nature of the unit cell? That means we need to predict what type of unit cell is it, whether simple cubic, whether BCC, body centered, or whether FCC, depending upon Z, the value of Z. If it comes out to be 1, it is simple cubic. If it comes out to be 2, it is BCC, body centered. If it comes out to be 4, it is FCC. So that means we need to calculate Z. Let us apply the formula D into A cube into Na by M. Substitute all the values and you get Z approximately equal to 4. Meaning that the type or the nature of the unit cell is face-centered cubic unit cell. So remember this density of unit cell, calculation of density or maybe calculation of rank of the unit cell, nature of the unit cell, or maybe calculation of atomic mass of the element, or maybe volume, calculation of volume of the unit cell, or maybe edge length of the unit cell, or maybe calculation of Avogadro number. Anything can be asked. The same formula has to be applied for calculation of all these variables. And now we move on to the next important topic, and that is defects in solid. Let me first brief you that what do we mean by an ideal crystal. An ideal crystal is a one which has a perfectly ordered arrangement of all the constituent particles and has an entropy of 0 at 0 Kelvin. That means it is a perfectly ordered arrangement, therefore the randomness or entropy is 0. But when any deviation or irregularity arises in this perfectly ideal crystal, this gives rise to defects or imperfections in solid. So let us learn about the defects and imperfections, and I have briefed all the defects in form of a flowchart. So defects, what are defects? Irregularities in the arrangement of constituent particles from the ideal arrangement gives rise to two types of defects. So broadly speaking, defects are of two types, line defect and point defect. As the term itself is indicating, when there is deviation of the constituent particle across the entire line or row, then the type of defect is line defect. But if the deviation arises at a particular lattice point in the crystal, this gives rise to point defect. So in detail, we are going to discuss about the different categories of point defects exhibited by the solids. So in detail, let us categorize the point defects into three main categories. In the point defects in stoichiometric solids, where the number of cations are equal to the number of anions. Then second category in non-stoichiometric solids, and third category impurity defect. The non-stoichiometric solids are those where the stoichiometry of the solid crystal is disturbed. Remember, the number of cations and anions are not same for such type of solids. And impurity defects will arise as a result of addition of impurities to the solids, and there are also two types that we are going to study in detail. So in stoichiometric solids, the defects exhibited are of four different types. Vacancy, interstitial. Remember, vacancy and interstitial are the characteristic defects exhibited by non-ionic solids, where the constituent particles are not ions but atoms. Whereas Schottky and Frankel are the defects in stoichiometric solids which are exhibited by ionic solids. And Schottky is a type of vacancy defect, Frankel is a type of interstitial defect. So out of these four, vacancy and interstitial are shown by non-ionic solid, and Schottky and Frankel are shown by ionic solids. Impurity defect, as I just now told you, arises as a result of addition of impurities to the solids. And there are two types, those exhibited by ionic solids and those exhibited by covalent solids. Where we will learn about the two types of semiconductors, p-type, which are formed by addition of impurities of group 13 to group 14, n-type, which are formed by addition of impurities of group 15 to group 14. So this, everything we are going to study in detail. The last category of the point defects are point defects in non-stoichiometric solids, where I just now said that the stoichiometry of the crystal is disturbed. So there are two types, metal excess and metal deficient defects. Metal excess arises due to two reasons, due to anion vacancy and due to extra cations in the interstitial site. Whereas metal deficient, as the term indicates, the number of metal atoms is less than the number of the anions. Metal excess, the number of metal atoms is more than the number of anions. Metal deficient arises due to two reasons, due to cation vacancy and due to extra anions occupying the interstitial site. So, when I have briefed all these defects in form of a flow chart, we will learn all these defects in detail in the next topic. Let us study about what is an ideal crystal and how does defect arise in a solid. An ideal crystal is a one which has a perfectly ordered arrangement of all the constituent particles and its entropy or randomness at 0 Kelvin is 0. So, a crystal having a perfectly ordered arrangement of its constituent particles where its entropy or randomness is 0 at 0 Kelvin, any dislocation of constituent particle in a crystal, either on being heated or addition of impurities, gives rise to a defect at a particular point in the crystal. And such defects are called point defects. So, whenever in an ideal crystal, there arises a dislocation of any constituent particle, when the crystal is being heated or on addition of impurities, then such type of discrepancies or dislocations gives rise to the defects in the crystal at a particular point in the crystal, and these type of defects are known as the point defects. So we will learn in detail about the various types of point defects. As we saw in the previous video, that point defects are categorized into three broad categories: in stoichiometric solids, in non-stoichiometric solids, and impurity defects. So let us start with the point defect in the stoichiometric crystals. In these crystals, the constituent particles are in same ratio as predicted by their formula. What does this mean? This means actually that the stoichiometry of the crystal is maintained, means the number of cations and anions are equal. So such type of crystals are called stoichiometric crystals, which exhibit four different types of defects in stoichiometric solids. Let us see the first defect, vacancy defect. Vacancy defect, and these are the four different types of defects we will be studying in detail: vacancy defect, interstitial defect, Schottky defect, and Frankel defect. Out of which you have to remember the vacancy and the interstitial defect, it arises in the non-ionic solids, and the Schottky and the Frankel defect, it arises in the ionic solids. So let us see first of all vacancy defect. In vacancy defect, the atoms leave their original site. The atoms dislocate from their original site and leave the lattice. So here the condition, see, any defect we will be studying under 3 C's: condition, cause, consequence. So let us discuss what are the 3 C's of the vacancy defect. So here in the diagram you can see the atoms, they have left their original site and they have gone out of the lattice, giving rise to vacancies, and hence this defect is called vacancy defect. So what happens? Some atoms are missing from their original site, they leave the lattice, developing vacancies. Cause is it arises as a result of heating. Consequences, because the atoms are missing from the lattice, the density of the crystal decreases. So remember, this is vacancy defect, in which atoms, they leave their original site and move out of the lattice and create vacancies known as holes, due to which the density of the crystal decreases. And remember, this type of defect arises as a result of heating. The another type of defect, stoichiometric defect, point defect found in the non-ionic solid, is the interstitial defect, where some foreign atoms occupy the interstitial site. None of the atom from its original site leaves the lattice, but in addition to that, the foreign atoms get trapped in the interstitial site. So some foreign atoms occupy the interstitial site. Causes, it arises as a result of addition of impurities, and consequences, density of this crystal will increase because mass per unit volume, because of the accommodation of the foreign atoms in the interstitial site, the density will increase. Remember. Next is very important, Schottky defect. Schottky is a type of vacancy defect. The only difference between Schottky and vacancy defect is Schottky arises in case of the ionic solids. So what happens in Schottky? This is a crystal, this is an ionic crystal where the oppositely charged ions are held together by ionic bonds or electrostatic forces. From here you can see cation is missing. From here you can see anion is missing. So remember, this type of defect arises due to missing of equal number of cations and anions from the crystal. So equal number of cations and anions are missing from the lattice. It is exhibited by solids with high coordination number. The size of the cation and anion are equal. So what type of crystals exhibit this defect? Crystals with high coordination number where the size of cation and anion are comparable. Cause it arises as a result of heating. This effect also arises, like we can see, it also arises as a result of heating. You can see equal number. For example, in this diagram I have shown that one cation and one anion is missing from the lattice. So, they will be missing in equal numbers due to which the electrical neutrality of the crystal remains maintained. Remember. So consequences, since vacancies have been developed in the crystal, therefore what will happen to the density? Density of the crystal will decrease. Lattice energy, since the ions are missing, therefore you can say that the electrostatic forces of attraction will decrease and hence the lattice energy of the crystal will also decrease. Stability, because of the vacancy, stability of the crystal decreases. Electrical neutrality is maintained since the cations and anions are being lost in equal numbers. Electrical conductivity increases. Why? Because wherever there is hole, there will be increase in electrical conductivity. Remember. And alkali metal halides like NaCl, KCl, CSCl, KBr, all these are examples of the solids exhibiting Schottky defect. And remember AgPr. AgPr is a crystal which will show both Schottky as well as Frankel defect. So, to summarize, what is Schottky? Equal number of cations and anions are missing from the lattice, developing cation and anion vacancies in the lattice. Due to the vacancies, the density of the crystal will decrease, the stability will decrease, the lattice energy will decrease, but the electrical neutrality remains maintained, or you can say that the electrical conductivity will also increase. So these are the features of the Schottky defect. Now we come to the next type of stoichiometric defect, point defect, which is the Frankel defect. Frankel defect is just similar to the interstitial defect. The only difference between the two is interstitial defect is shown by the non-ionic solids, whereas Frankel defect is exhibited by the ionic solids. In this case, a cation will leave its original site and get trapped in the interstitial site. In Frankel defect, what happens? Remember, cation leaves its original site and occupies the interstitial site. Now, question arises, why only cation, why not anion? Because the size of cation is smaller and hence it can easily get trapped in the interstitial site. Therefore, a cation dislocates from its original site in the lattice and gets trapped in the interstitial site. That means it remains in the lattice only, hence there will be no change in the density of the crystal. Remember, very important consequence, the density of the crystal remains same. It is exhibited by, so in this case what happens, cation leaves its original site and occupies the interstitial site. It is exhibited by solids with low coordination number where the size of cation is smaller than that of anion. Consequences, density remains same. Schottky will result in decrease in density, but Frankel will not affect the density. There will be no change in the density. The stability decreases, the electrical conductivity increases, the lattice energy decreases, electrical neutrality is maintained, are all the consequences of the Frankel defect. The example of the solids which exhibit this type of defect are silver halides like AgCl, AgBr, etc. Remember, AgBr we discussed earlier also is a crystal which not only shows Schottky but also the Frankel defect. Apart from that, ZNS also exhibits this defect. So this is all about the point defect in stoichiometric solids which we discussed are of 4 different categories: vacancy, interstitial, Schottky and Frankel. And now we will proceed towards the next type of point defect. Once we are through with the point defects exhibited by the stoichiometric solids, let us now proceed with the second category of point defects exhibited by non-stoichiometric solid crystals. When I say non-stoichiometric, such crystals are those where the stoichiometry is disturbed. That means the number of cations are not equal to number of anions. And as we discussed in the flow chart, that point defects in non-stoichiometric solids are broadly categorized into two categories, that is the metal excess defect and the metal deficient defect. Metal excess defect, as the term suggests, the metal atoms number would be more than the number of the anions, and metal deficient defect vice versa, the number of anions will be greater than the number of metal atoms. So let us discuss about these two types of defects, metal excess and metal deficient defects, in detail. So, point defects in non-stoichiometric solids. Those solids where the stoichiometry of the crystal is disturbed, that is not maintained, that means the number of cations are not equal to the number of anions. Such type of defects are called point defects in non-stoichiometric solids. These are, broadly speaking, of two types, metal excess defect and metal deficient defect. Metal excess defect arises due to two different ways, due to anion vacancy and due to extra cations occupying the interstitial site. So we are going to discuss these two types of metal excess defect in detail. Let us now proceed with metal excess defect due to anion vacancy. But when I say metal excess defect, it means that the number of metal atoms are greater than the number of the anions. So remember, this is what is meant by metal excess defect. Now due to anion vacancy. Here I am going to take an example of a crystal of NaCl, which is originally white in color, but when heated in the presence of the sodium vapors, it turns to golden yellow. So I have taken here example of the NaCl crystal, where you can see the oppositely charged Na plus Cl minus Na plus Cl minus are held together by electrostatic forces. Now when this crystal is heated in the presence of Na vapors, then Na vapors, because they will absorb some amount of energy which will be equal to the ionization energy, which will result in the removal of electron from the neutral sodium atom, converting it into sodium cation. And remember that from anywhere in the crystal, the chloride ion or maybe any anion, it leaves the lattice, original site in the lattice, moves to the surface and develops an anion vacancy. This anion vacancy gets trapped with the electron lost by the sodium vapors. And this anion vacancy trapped with electron is commonly known as F center. So this is what is the metal excess defect due to anion vacancy. Well, that means how does it arise? On heating the alkali metal crystals in the presence of their own vapors. Remember. So we, as discussed earlier, we will be discussing any defect under 3 C's. 3 C's means cause, condition and consequence. So let us see what is the cause. Heating alkali metal crystals in the presence of their own vapors. Condition is, on heating alkali metal crystals in the presence of their own vapors, the anions leave their original site and move to the surface, creating anion vacancy, which gets trapped with electron lost by the alkali metal called F center, responsible for imparting the color. So in this type of defect, let me again brief how this defect arises. When the alkali metal solids are heated in the presence of their own vapors, then what will happen? The alkali metal vapors will tend to lose the electrons. Now an ion from the lattice will leave its original site and move to the surface and will develop an anion vacancy, and the electron which is lost by the alkali metal vapors gets trapped into the anion vacancy. In doing so, the electrical neutrality of the crystal is maintained because the loss of negative charge is compensated by the negatively charged electron, which gets trapped in anion vacancy, developing F center. Now what is F center that we will discuss? This F center, F word has arisen from the word far, and far means color. So this type of defect is actually responsible for exhibition of color by the alkali metal solids when heated in the presence of their own vapors. So here consequences are exhibition of color. Number 2, electrical conductivity increases, because wherever we have free electrons, you know that electrons are the current carriers. They will make the crystal a good conductor of electricity. So here exhibition of color, why? Because this electron, when it absorbs the heat, gets excited and moves to the higher energy level, and being unstable, when it returns back to the ground level, it emits radiations falling in the visible region of electromagnetic spectrum. And this is the basic reason that why, because of the presence of unpaired electron, the crystal will exhibit a particular or a characteristic color. Next is electrical conductivity. Again, the free electron will make the crystal a good conductor of electricity. The crystal becomes paramagnetic. Paramagnetic crystals are those which contain unpaired electrons. So this unpaired electron again will make the crystal paramagnetic. Density will decrease. Why density will decrease? Because here the anion has left from its original site, and this site is trapped by electron of very negligible mass, 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram, and therefore mass per unit volume decreases, hence density also decreases and stability also decreases. So these are the consequences of the metal excess defect developed due to anion vacancy. Let us look at the examples. As I told you that it arises in alkali metal halides on heating them in the presence of their own vapors. So let's take example of alkali metal halides, KCl. KCl solid, when heated in the presence of potassium vapors, imparts violet color to the crystal. In the same manner, LiCl solid, when heated in the presence of Li vapors, imparts pink color to the solid. In the same manner, NaCl, when heated in the presence of the Na vapors, imparts golden yellow color. So remember, this exhibition of a color, exhibition of characteristic color is a very unique feature of the metal excess type of defect exhibited due to anion vacancy, in which the electron gets trapped, and this unpaired electron is responsible for exhibition of a characteristic color. So this is a very, very important type of defect, and this is metal excess defect. Now again, let us see why it is called metal excess, because from this side the Cl minus has been lost. That means the number of anions are becoming less than the number of cations, and therefore if metal is in excess, we call it as metal excess defect. And look here, that electrical neutrality is being maintained. Why? Because the loss of negatively charged anion is being compensated by the trapping of the negatively charged electron in the anion vacancy. So this was all about the metal excess defect due to anion vacancy. Let us see another category of metal excess defect which arises due to extra cations occupying the interstitial site. So let us see, due to extra cations occupying the interstitial site. How does it arise? Arises as a result of heating. This type of defect was arising as a result of heating the crystals in the presence of their own vapors. But remember, this type of defect arises on simply heating a crystal. Now what actually happens? The extra cation gets trapped in the interstitial site, and to maintain the electrical neutrality, electron occupies the vicinity interstitial site. Let us consider this ionic crystal where you can see the extra cation Na plus getting trapped in the interstitial site, and to maintain the electrical neutrality, an electron also gets trapped in the vicinity interstitial site, so that electrical neutrality of the crystal is maintained. Now here you can see extra cations are occupying the interstitial site, as the name of the defect is due to extra cations occupying the interstitial site. Now let's see what are the consequences. Again, this unpaired electron will be responsible not only for exhibition of color, but also for making the crystal paramagnetic, and also for increasing its electrical conductivity. And obviously the density will increase because mass per unit volume will increase due to extra cations accommodating the interstitial site. So these are the important consequences: exhibition of color, paramagnetic nature, good conductor of electricity. All this is because of this electron. All these three properties are because of this unpaired electron getting trapped in the interstitial site. And density increases is the last consequence. Example, ZNO turns yellow on heating. So what happens? Let me explain you by means of this equation. When ZnO solid is being heated, it breaks down to form Zn plus 2 cations, O2 half O2 molecule with the loss of 2 electrons. Now, if suppose this had been a ZnO crystal, then these extra Zn plus 2 cations would have got trapped in the interstitial site, and to maintain the electrical neutrality, these 2 electrons would have got trapped in the vicinity interstitial site, so that it will be responsible for the exhibition of color and increasing the electrical conductivity of the crystal. So remember, this is a very important example. ZnO turns yellow on heating. So on heating, when it is breaking down into Zn plus 2 cations, these extra Zn plus 2 cations are getting trapped in the interstitial site, and to maintain the electrical neutrality, these electrons which are lost are getting trapped in the vicinity interstitial site. So this is the second type of metal excess defect due to extra cations occupying the interstitial site. Let us now move to metal deficient defect. Metal deficient defect is the defect where the number of metal atoms are less than the number of the anions. And remember, this type of defect arises in transition metal solids, and the most characteristic property of transition metal solids is their ability to exhibit variable oxidation states. Remember. So, due to it is of two types, due to cation vacancy and due to extra anions occupying the interstitial site. Now, let me take a crystal here, A plus B minus, A plus B minus. This is a transition metal crystal, and here you can see that there is a cation vacancy. And if there is a cation vacancy, then how this loss of positive charge is being compensated? It is compensated by the vicinity cation acquiring higher oxidation state. You can see here that from this side the cation has been lost from the lattice, developing a cation vacancy, and to maintain this loss of positive charge, the vicinity cation will acquire higher oxidation state. So that what will happen, because of the hole developed or because of the cation vacancy, density will decrease, conductivity will increase because of the holes, stability will decrease, lattice energy will decrease, and neutrality will be maintained. Electrical neutrality will be maintained. So this is the metal deficient defect due to cation vacancy. Very simple to understand. A cation is being lost from its original site, and to compensate this loss of positive charge, the vicinity cation comes in the higher oxidation state. And now we come to due to extra anions occupying the interstitial site. So let us take again this crystal, and you can see extra anion has come in the interstitial site. Now how to compensate this extra negative charge? The vicinity cation will again acquire higher oxidation state. That's why I am saying that this type of defect is the characteristic of transition elements which have ability to show more than one valency or variable oxidation state. So in this type of defect, extra anion has got trapped in the interstitial site, and to maintain electrical neutrality, the vicinity cation acquires higher oxidation state. Because of the extra cation getting trapped, you can see density is increasing, and it is exhibited by transition element solids which show variable oxidation states. So we have discussed about the point defect number 1 in stoichiometric solids, which was categorized into 4 categories, that is vacancy defect, interstitial defect, Schottky and Frenkel defect. And then we discussed about the point defects in non-stoichiometric solid, categorized into 2 categories, metal excess developing due to anion vacancy and extra cations occupying the interstitial site, and metal deficient defect developing due to the cation vacancy and extra anions getting trapped in interstitial site. Now let's proceed to the third type of point defects, and that is impurity defects.